Tonight on News 5 Live, Belize Citco employees fear COVID cluster. Ministry of Health urging Belize District residents to voluntarily restrict travel. Thousands of doses of Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines arrive from the UK. And the San Ignacio Santa Elena Town Council in a showdown over open vote workers. Details of these stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
That benefit are we the people supposed to pay?
Got something you pay no, but when you get old, you got something for collect for your future.
If you miss some days from work, they should have compensated for that.
As an artist, I'm not really sure because I work for myself.
What is Social Security? Social Security is not a tax. Social Security is a very small investment in you, the worker. It's an investment that you can count on now or in the future. It is designed to replace part of your income from wages when you get sick, get injured on the job, have a baby on the way, become disabled, or even when you pass away. And even then, the widow and your kids, if under 16 years or under 21 years and in school, obtain survivor's pension. And after a lifetime of working, you can rest assured you will have a monthly retirement income. Social Security, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Introducing Edam A cheese, the A+ Dutch cheese to hit the Belizean market. As the name says, it is of A-class quality, the best Dutch cheese in Belize. Edam A cheese is creamier, less salty, and simply more delicious. Don't be left out. Get your A cheese at a supermarket near you. A cheese exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited. Call us at 610-3626 or 610-8910. Follow us on Facebook at Unitex Belize.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, August 4th. I am Sabrina Daly. The mayor of San Ignacio, Santa Elena, is at odds with several councillors over their proposal to fire a number of workers. There are currently 125 employees in the San Ignacio, Santa Elena Town Council. But 5 PUP councillors, who make up a majority of the council, are petitioning for the termination of 20 contract workers. UDP Mayor Earl Trapp says that there is no financial crisis to trigger any terminations. Instead, he believes it is politically motivated, so he cannot support the move.
I cannot and will not participate in any process which proposes any form of illegality and any course of action against any employees of this council that is contrary to the Belize labor laws, and I am making it explicitly clear. I will not entertain such actions. A move to fire members of staff to make way for their loyalists is political, petty, and vindictive. As a responsible council, we should be thinking outside of the box. We must be creative and innovative in creating more employment opportunities for our people.
When it is the PUP won so convincingly in the last municipal elections across the country, they feel that they can disregard you, they feel that they can walk over you, they feel that they can simply dismiss your efforts. And so we today place on record our solidarity with you. And we say to the workers that this UDP mayor has your back.
That's right.
And he's going to fight. You've heard him say. And as long as he is here to fight, the entire United Democratic Party, a mass party across this country, will have his back in having your back to ensure that the kind of victimization that we've seen happen at the hospital and in other areas in this town, the Ministry of Works and other areas, will not be something that happens at your town council here.
Joining Mayor Trapp at the head table today were UDP party leader Patrick Faber, attorney Orson Elrington, and Deputy UDP Chairman Alberta August. In his statement, Faber says that the terminations so far have likely surpassed the retrenchment exercise under the Esquivel administration. While imploring the PUP councillors to work along with the mayor and the only other elected UDP councillor, Faber says that there are many others, UDP and non-party supporters, who have been politically victimized by the new PUP administration to make way for their cronies.
I make the appeal to them to, as they committed at the time of the swearing in of the mayor, that they would work for the best interests of the residents of the town and not for their political gain and their political worth. And that is very important. We want to make clear as a party as well that we stand in support of those workers, not only here in San Ignacio, Santa Elena, but where there is only an attempt, as I understand it, being made to fire 20 or so workers. But imagine in all those other municipalities where the UDP was not successful, where our workers have been victimized and fired in masses. Let me place on the record now, as the leader of this party, that we stand in solidarity with all of those employees that have been unjustly terminated, and the party stands ready to offer any kind of help that we can in order to make those wrongs right. Later on, you will hear from Attorney O.J. Elrington, who leads the party's efforts. O.J. is not alone. We have other UDP lawyers who have been very instrumental in helping citizens. And when those citizens come, we don't ask them if they are UDP or they are PUP. We have an obligation as the opposition in this country to ensure that we're there in service of those who are taken advantage of. And I am of the firm belief that those people who are being fired merely for political reasons, I heard you say, Mayor, they fire them for no reason. Well, they're firing them for a reason. most of them are being fired because they support the best political party in this country. But there are others who are being fired to make way. There are some people who have not done any kind of politicking, have never waved the UDP flag in their lives, but in order to make way for PUP cronies and flunkies, the various different administrations at the municipal level, but also at the national level, have been engaged in firing these people in order to make way.
Attorney Orson Elrington has been pursuing a number of termination letters from public officers. He says that his law firm has been contacted by over 400 persons who have been terminated, including those from central and municipal governments, as well as various statutory bodies.
All Belizeans have a fundamental right. Section 3 of our Constitution makes it lucidly clear that persons cannot be discriminated against because of their sex, their color, their religion, their ethnicity, and most certainly not because of their political affiliation. This is a fundamental right. This is of paramount importance to our legal system, to the way we are governed, and to our democracy. It is imperative that those persons who hold the reins of power respect this fundamental principle.
With rising COVID cases in different parts of Belize and clusters in certain spots, Deputy Regional Health Manager of the Central Health Region, Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa, says that people should be taking precautions voluntarily to stay indoors and to venture out only when it is necessary. Dr. Diaz spoke to News 5 today on the concerns health officials have.
There is definitely an spike in cases in the Belize district. To date, we have 227 active cases in the Belize district, and that has increased significantly over the last 3 to 4 weeks. In the latter part of June, we were looking at daily active case rate of numbers of about 50, 45, and now we're at 227. So we're seeing that the spread is continuous. We have now, instead of having clusters where family members or only work contacts are positive, we're seeing positive cases, symptomatic cases with no association with close contacts. So it's telling us that we're looking at community spread in the Belize district. And I wanted to get, and we from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we want to get the message out to the persons, to our community, that the virus spreads by human behavior. And we're asking for everyone to be very aware of movements, try not to move unnecessarily, try to stay as much as possible, only do movements or traveling or if it's necessary. And if it's not necessary, we're asking people to start to go back to some of the public health measures that we had to go into in October, November, December, in order for us to get control of the spread.
In addition to the public health measures and the proper wearing of face masks, Dr. Diaz-Musa also discourages employers from having extended meetings, lunches, and other gatherings with their staff so as to keep the number of new infections low. Since February, the number of COVID cases has risen from under 50 to around 400. Dr. Diaz-Musa encourages unvaccinated people in Belize District to go get vaccinated to avoid suffering serious symptoms if they happen to catch COVID.
We are available Monday to Friday at Central Health Region Old Nursing School. We're also at Swift Hall, and all our public clinics are giving vaccines at this time. We're also trying to do pop-up vaccine outreach in different places. We have been at the in front of the Civic Center a few times. We've been out at the Battlefield Park as well. We're setting up for the early part of next week by the 88 Shopping Center by Central American Boulevard. So we want to give everybody the opportunity to access these vaccines. I mean, we had a big campaign at the market 2 Saturdays ago that was very successful as well. And we're asking for persons to come out to utilize what's available. We have the vaccines available. It's free of cost, and we are accessible as best as possible. Don't be deterred if you see people outside waiting. It's very efficient. The time is not long that you've got to wait. And we're just asking the public to help us as well to get as many persons vaccinated as possible.
The Central Health Region is conducting COVID tests on several employees of the Belize City Council after at least 4 of their colleagues have tested positive for the virus.
Over yesterday and today, we've been actually actively involved with testing persons from City Council. So I had asked her to please give me some names so that I can look it up. And right away, I asked our persons calling to please check the list again to see if everybody or if there are any outstanding calls to make. So that's what they're doing at this point.
Okay.
So we have our emergency number, which is 613-0787. It's posted on Facebook as well. And you could always call our office as well, 223-2722. And we have been getting calls on a regular basis. So especially from City Council.
The emergency numbers again are 613-0787 or 223-2722. The United Kingdom has begun delivering 9 million doses of coronavirus vaccine to what they term the most vulnerable countries. On Tuesday, Belize got its share, some 42,000 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The BBC reports that Kenya, Jamaica, and Indonesia are among the countries receiving the vaccines. Last month, during a summit on Cornwall, the G7 group of leading industrial nations pledged to donate 1 billion coronavirus vaccine doses to poorer countries, with U.S. President Joe Biden announcing that his country would provide 500 million doses. The majority of the vaccines will be delivered through the COVAX program, which aims to provide vaccines for at least 20% of the population in 92 low or medium income countries. In addition to the UK donation, Belize was fortunate to also receive its third shipment of 33,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine also this week, procured by the government of Belize through the COVAX facility. Coming up, the Commissioner of Police comments on the continuing gang wars. Hear what he has to say when we come back.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include Cath Lab, Adult Intensive Care Unit, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime, while with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
Improving lives, delivering quality. Water for you and me. In Belize, BWS, we make it happen.
At Belize Water Services, we continue delivering on our promise of improving the lives of you, our valued customers. We have all been adversely affected by COVID-19 in many ways. BWS has ensured that we have been there for you during these difficult and challenging times by adjusting our processes and our way of doing business to ensure the safety of our customers as well as our staff. BWS enhanced our virtual and distance options to continue to serve you while reducing risk. Customers have been able to contact us through our toll-free numbers, via email, and using our newly introduced WhatsApp numbers for messaging. We have also continued to encourage customers to make payments online. These measures are all designed to improve the safety of customers. BWS went even further. Knowing the effects of the pandemic on the economy and our customers, we launched our residential amnesty program, offering rebate discounts during the months of April, May, and June 2021. We're pleased to report that some 7,400 customers utilized the arrears assistance, and some 18,000 residential customers received the benefit of the early payment discount. During these tough times, BWS also continued to invest in infrastructure expansion and improvements. At the same time, we have continued to provide high-quality, safe, potable water services to ensure the continued health and safety of all our consumers. Our customers enjoyed uninterrupted water supply during the most challenging of times.
Belize Water Services, delivering water and more.
Last month, my father passed away due to COVID-19. My father was not vaccinated. He was not. To be truthful, the things he would have said would be the things that we're hearing around town. But there were also some of the other things, some of the other myths that really I was trying to tell him, no, Daddy, you need to get your vaccine. But I couldn't convince him in time.
I think what they're doing is a disservice to this country. In my mind, what they're doing is creating fear among people when they should be spreading a message of hope. What I hear them say has no basis, no scientific basis for the assertions they're making. And more than anything else, there's no legal basis for their assertion.
Would he have gotten that vaccine, he would still be here cracking his jokes and being his fun, crazy self, and we really miss him.
Two weeks in a row, there were double fatalities and shooting incidents in the Crawl Road area of Southside Belize City. The most recent, which occurred on the morning of August 1st, ended with police shooting dead a 16-year-old who moments earlier had shot and killed Matthew Gutierrez. An internal investigation by the Professional Standards Branch of the Belize Police Department is underway to determine whether the fatal shooting of Shamar Nicholas was justifiable by the responding officers. Compol Chester Williams says that the increase in gun violence in that particular area is due to gang war between three rivaling groups.
We do have a serious conflict between the South Side, the Crawl Road, and the Sapal Street gangs. And those are the three groups that are creating the problem in that area. We have put in place checkpoints, we have put in place additional patrols with a view to ensure that we mitigate these occurrences. But as you would know, that the criminals do monitor the movements of the police. And so when the police go one area, they go and operate in another area. And it is really sad to say that with what happened over the weekend, the 16-year-old went to look for somebody, and that person that he went for, he could not find that person, and so he just executed anybody. That is so sad. And it happened that the police were right in the area, and as he was riding off, He saw the police, he shot at the police, and the police returned fire, and the result was what it is. It is extremely sad. I asked the question, where was the parent of that child? And these are things that the society needs to speak about.
Last Friday night, reputed Antelope Street gang boss Devon Bailey was shot and killed in Belize City. And while the police department is prepared for reprisal, there is information to suggest that Bailey's killing may have been a result of internal fighting.
He has been a person of influence in that Antelope Street area. And while, yes, we have seen that over the years, or a year or two, he has slowed down his activity, the fact remains that there are still those persons who saw him as that. And let me say that from what we are gathering so far is that his killing has to do with his own surroundings. Persons from within his own group are the ones who may have been responsible for his murder. And so we are looking at that, and myself and Mr. Rosado, we spoke, and we have put things in place to mitigate any possible retaliation.
Compal Chester Williams says that there is need for further intervention among youth who are wielding guns and carrying out these criminal activities. He says that it is time to have these tough conversations.
One murder is one murder too much. Every life lost leaves families grieving, leave children without a parent. And so it goes to show that our society in a whole needs to really and truly look at ourselves and to see what is it that we are not doing that we should be doing, or what is it that we're doing that we can do more of. I surely believe that the narrative as it relates to young persons, minors, need to change. I have long said that while it is good to say to minors or to children that they have certain rights, it must equally be important for us to say to them that with these rights come certain responsibilities. And I also believe that whenever a minor commits an offense or commits a crime, we need to make it known to that minor that he or she commits a crime or an offense. And it is only by so doing that we will be able to see a shift in the behavior of our young people. Yes, there are some people who have this mentality that because these persons are children, that they are incapable of committing a crime. And it is these same children who are out there for the most part committing the most heinous of crime. And so while I do support the different organizations that rallies for children, because I too rally for children, but I also believe that when something goes wrong, we must equally come out and let the children know that what is taking place is wrong and it needs to change. If it is that we don't get a hold of the 12 to 16-year-old now, in the next 2-3 years, they are going to be the problem makers. And so we have to do things to be able to bring them to the table and give them alternative methods and let them understand that there is more to life than picking up a gun. And where society fails to guide these young persons, then they are captured by the gang elements and they are used as a vehicle to go and commit crime, to execute the big man crime.
This morning, vendors at Alton Ha told us that the police were there issuing warning to everyone who has booths at the site that come Monday, anyone who is not vaccinated will not be allowed to conduct business on the site.
There's an elderly woman here who said, well, you can't, I'm not going to take a vaccine because I didn't want to take the vaccine. And then he told her, well, you can't work here at all. You can come back tomorrow if you don't have your PCR, if you don't have your vaccine. And she was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna come to work because this is how I make my money. As the same thing he told the elderly woman, he came and told my mom. So he went up more, and then I think two of the other people there, they have their PCR, they have their vaccination card, they have their vaccination system, they showed him, but there was just a group of people here it's not like they're against the vaccine, but they choose not to take it because of their health issues, no?
The police was doing a check booth to booth, and with I believe with some of the tour guides as well. No one was really escorted after compound. He was only informing them that if they cannot present their a negative PCR test, or the vaccination card that they would no longer be allowed to operate or do business. Today, so far, we have 4 busload of tourist businesses also now. One of them is a bus that's fully vaccinated, and the other 3 buses, they are not vaccinated. And that was what the thing that the vendors were saying. If the visitors can come here, they can use the restroom, they can use the facility, and enter inside the site. We cannot have no interaction, but they're using the same restroom and everything. Then why the problem occurred now with the vendors? You're pressuring them to do it, but then the visitor is not allowed. It's not a problem.
Tourism CEO Nicole Solano told News 5 that several of those vendors have already agreed to get vaccinated, and a few others wanted more information before deciding whether they will take the vaccine or not. She says the situation with the elderly and their underlying health issues is a concern, but that they are guided by the Ministry of Health and Wellness on the recommendations. Solano added that currently, all unvaccinated Belizeans and tourists entering Belize must test negative prior to their arrival into the country. Vaccinated travelers, local and foreign, may enter without a test, but are subject to random testing on arrival in Belize. While more than 80% of tourism stakeholders have taken their COVID vaccinations, some of them, along with those remaining unvaccinated, have voiced concerns over what they feel are privileges being afforded to unvaccinated tourists taken on bubble tours. On Tuesday, tour operator Nikolai Alvarado, who represents the Belize Local Association of Stakeholders in Tourism, or BLAST, told News 5 that its membership feels that the new COVID regulations unfairly compels them to get vaccinated, while their guests, the tourists who they chaperone, are unvaccinated people who can get infected in transit and pass the virus or variants on to them. While the regulations are guided by officials at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, today CEO in the Ministry of Tourism and Diaspora Relations, Nicole Solano, said that in reviewing the concerns raised, the ministry sought clarification from the Attorney General's ministry. She pointed out that tourism workers are included in the category of people who are considered frontline workers. Hence, they are required to take the shots.
There were some areas within the SI that we weren't clear on. For example, it mentioned tourist site. We wanted to clarify which sites that referred to. We were informed that those sites would be any site that normally require a check-in, or when the guide arrives at the site, they would need to make a payment or present some form of ID. And that is the case with archaeological sites. So the clarification was received that it would be at archaeological sites. There was also a need to clarify what the vaccination card would need to say, whether or not they would have one dose or be required both doses. We received the clarification that as long as the tour guide or the tour operator has at least one dose of the vaccine, that they would be allowed to enter. In the case of tour guides and tour operators in the new legislation or the new SI that just came out, a negative test will not be accepted. Tour guides and tour operators would need to present a vaccination card. There's a small percentage, as far as we're aware, of people who have not been vaccinated. And when I say small percentage, we're hearing numbers upwards of 90% being vaccinated. So when it comes to tourism frontline workers, the vast majority of them are vaccinated.
After the break, gearing up for back to school in uncertain times. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
This COVID update is brought to you by Belize Medical Associates. This COVID update was brought to you by Belize Medical Associates.
Digi's got the summer deals. And now's the time to join in on Digi's Back to School raffle. Win big with any of our 3 easy ways to enter. 1. Purchase any device on promotion. 2. Be a Digicel or Diginet prepaid customer with at least $10 in usage. 3. Make the switch. Join the Digi family between July 1st and 31st and you're automatically in to win. Don't miss out on your chance to win Digi's Back to School package, including a laptop, MiFi, and 3 months of free data, all valued over $2,000. Win big with Digi's Back to School raffle, cause Digi's got the summer deals. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com or visit a Digi store near you.
What does live and let live mean to you?
Live and let live means everyone having the freedom to be themselves.
Live and let live means that I can be a mother and have a career.
It means treating people the way you would want to be treated.
And making sure your business is accessible for all Belizeans.
It means that everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect.
It means to love your children no matter what.
It means to support people who face discrimination.
It means that men and women should be treated equally at work.
It means that everyone is able to contribute to building Belize.
It means saying no to all forms of discrimination.
It means love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Live and let live. Respect for all Belizeans.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly, and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
Hola, Tony.
Hey, Kevin, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué pasa?
Nada, le vine a buscar porque necesito comprar más mercancías de vasos y platos desechables para mi tienda de comestible. Me estoy quedando sin esas cosas.
No, hombre, fíjate que desde el 15 de abril no puedo importar nada de eso. Y se me acaba de terminar todo lo que tenía hace como 3 semanas.
Oye, pero nunca has estado sin esas cosas. ¿Qué está pasando?
Mira esto. Esta es la nueva ley que prohíbe todo el uso de plásticos no reutilizables. Esos son vasos, platos, cucharas, tenedores, todo eso. Desde 15 de abril de este año no he podido importar nada de eso. A partir del 15 de enero del 2021 nadie puede fabricarlo. 15 de abril 2021 nadie lo puede vender. Y a partir del 14 de julio del 2021 si alguien te agarra con eso, te multan.
Híjole, no sabía eso. Necesito cambiar algunas cosas. Les diré a mis clientes por qué esas cosas ya no están disponibles. Gracias, Antonio.
Así es, cuídate, man.
Trimming the hedges and overgrown trees, packing food supplies, ensuring that you have medical supplies and important documents are all part of your hurricane preparations. But what about your home insurance? An insurance policy with RFNG Insurance gives you the confidence that your home and possessions are protected when a natural disaster strikes. Include RFNG in your hurricane plans and join the thousands of Belizeans who have learned why it pays to get it right. RFNG Insurance is a Roku company.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Dates have been set for the reopening of secondary and primary schools, but those days in late August are subject to change, depending on the ebb and flow of COVID-19 cases across the country. While the Ministry of Education is forging ahead with back-to-school preparations, there is the likelihood that the 2021 academic calendar will commence with remote learning school that the spread of the virus not be contained before the arranged starting dates. According to Minister Francis Fonseca, several plans are already in place if the need arises to call off face-to-face instructions.
The dates are the August 23rd for primary schools, so secondary schools, and August 30th for primary schools. We've always planned for a hybrid approach to education. So our plan has always been about having a hybrid approach, blended learning, remote learning, as well as face-to-face instruction, with the hope that we could have full face-to-face instruction. That has always been the plan. So if it is that the Ministry of Health says to us over the next 2 weeks or so that they are not recommending that we have face-to-face instructions, then we will have to fall back to our original plan, which we already have in place for remote learning, online learning. So that is in place. We've discussed that with all of our managing authorities across the country. Our district education centers are working with schools in their communities to make sure that everybody is ready if we have to go that route. But as I said, we remain hopeful and we have a plan in place.
The People's United Party campaigned on several platforms ahead of the November 2020 general elections. One of them is to strengthen the education sector amid the COVID-19 pandemic. While the Ministry of Education has been working to shift from physical textbooks to electronic learning material, it will not be introducing e-books this coming school year. What it has been doing is partnering with Digi to ensure that remote learning can be made easier for students using electronic devices.
That was something we announced even before we took office. That was an important plank in our education Plan Belize agenda. E-books, e-textbooks. And so as soon as we got into office, we began working on that, reaching out to our international partners who we believe can support us in that regard. So that is ongoing. That won't be ready, of course, for this school year, for this August. But it's something that certainly will be ready for next year. We're working on it in an aggressive way. We've been working with BTL, Digicel in particular. So to address that very issue, so we've identified over the past few months, I think about 20 communities that had particular challenges in terms of internet access in rural communities, and they have been working and addressing that issue. It's not completed. Some have been completed, but it's an ongoing work, ongoing challenge. So we are addressing that issue. In terms of devices, again, as you know, there was a project in place that provided devices for many of our schools. That we have continued that program, and we've tried to expand it a little wherever we have access to financing for the provision of digital devices. We use those and identify our students who do not have access to those devices and try to provide them. So it's an ongoing challenge, it's continuous work, but our district education centers are on the job. They are working with schools to identify those young people and try as best as we can to address those problems.
When the COVID-19 pandemic hit Belize, Sacred Heart College and its junior college seamlessly transitioned to online classes. Fast track to 2021, the projection is for schools to reopen for in-person learning at the end of August, even as that remains dependent on the COVID-19 situation. So while Wildwood President Rocio Smith Carballo of Sacred Heart Incorporated, she told News 5 a meeting will be held with the school management and administration to determine whether they will return to normal classes or have a hybrid approach to learning.
Uncertainty is something that plagues us at this point in time. Sacred Heart College and Junior College definitely we look at the safety, welfare of all our faculty, our staff, our students, our parents, our community, because all of us go back to our families. And of course, we don't want to disenfranchise any student from an education. And at the same time, we want to see how best we can be of help to them. However, I can safely tell you, I cannot see Sacred Heart College nor Junior College going fully face-to-face, simply because our population is so high. We have a population of over 900 students at the high school, and even half of the population to come on the campus, that's about 450 students, which is still a big amount of individuals on this campus, plus the faculty and staff. And we know that with our students, it will be a challenge, for them to exercise social distancing. We don't have the manpower for all of that. And for the junior college, I can say that more than likely, most of the classes will be online. There might be maybe one or two that might need to go face-to-face because of the nature of the course. And we are thinking if and only if, and I want to state it clearly, the high school would decide to go face-to-face, it would be mostly for our first farm students and maybe for our second farm students who have not been on this campus any at all. Or looking at the safety, we might just maybe look at those students who did not perform well, for this past school year, and then be able to give that additional assistance to those students.
85% of the faculty and staff at Sacred Heart are vaccinated, including support staff. The Ministry of Health and Wellness carried out a vaccination session at the school, and President Smith Carballo says that, despite reluctance in some members of staff, they are safe to reopen.
85% gotten their first dose, and maybe about 60% have gotten their second dose. When it comes to our support staff, which is about 30 of them, only one of them has not received the vaccine. So basically our support staff have been fully vaccinated with the first dose. And I must say thanks, to Minister Shabat and also the MOH and our nurses who graciously came to our campus to assist in the vaccination, of our faculty and staff who were desirous also of getting their first vaccine. So we should be having more teachers, getting their vaccinations. I must say also that what has been put in place, we have asked all teachers to email to us their vaccination cards so that we can have exactly, how many of our faculty are still have their vaccines pending. But I must say that from what I have seen, it is very, very minimal. We do have maybe about 4 or 5 members of staff who are a little reluctant, and I guess they have their personal reasons for doing it. But I am still hoping, that we would be able to achieve the 100% at some point in time.
As of August 3rd, 134,583 persons have received a first jab of the COVID-19 vaccine, while 52,230 persons have been fully vaccinated. The rising COVID numbers are concerning to health officials because they are also seeing that younger people and minors are being infected by the virus. With the reopening of classes planned for just a few more weeks, health officials are contemplating on a vaccine for minors at this time.
Currently in country, we still have the 2 vaccines that we've had for the last few months. We have the AstraZeneca vaccine that's licensed for persons 18, or that's approved for persons 18 and older, and we also have the Sinopharm vaccine as well. And the Sinopharm vaccine is again for persons 18 and over. We are hopeful that we would soon be able to get a vaccine that we can give to persons under 18 at this point. In addition to that, in preparation with schools, we are in continuous communication with the Ministry of Education, and I believe in the next week or the latter part of this week, health education to teachers and visiting of schools will commence, and we will form a part of that team. Our public health inspectors and other members from the Ministry of Health will join the Ministry of Education to go through a preparation phase prior to schools being open.
Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa notes that the number of vaccinated teachers has gone up significantly over the past few weeks as teachers prepare for back to school. The Belize City Council sent out a press release just a short while ago confirming that 4 members of its staff have tested positive for COVID-19. According to the release, the cases were detected at different departments at City Hall and at various locations. CITCO says that all persons who have been identified as a close contact of the individual have been directed to isolate until they test negative. City Hall has also sanitized its offices and says it is following all the recommended measures. In related news, we were informed that the Belize Water Services Belmopan branch has been temporarily closed for sanitation after some of its employees became exposed to the virus. Just ahead, worried about the price of flour? Paul Lopez has some surprising information for you when we return.
Nestle. Start healthy, stay healthy.
Smart continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, thank you for making it possible for us to get internet in Gardenia Village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people together.
No make no sense at all. No kind of sense. That Belize video when I have that sign up there in China for.
That not in your Chinese at all, that in Spanish.
You understand what it said then?
Yeah. It said wear your face mask properly, cover your nose and your mouth.
Will help prevent the spread of COVID to others. Together we could make Belize safe.
Wear your mask properly over your mouth and nose to protect yourself and others. Together we can keep Belize COVID-19 safe.
The TV you love is always with you, from live TV, sports, and on-demand titles. Choose your plan today. Plans start as low as $15 per month. My TV. Entertainment anytime, anywhere.
This morning, the Belize Sugar Industries held a virtual session on good hiring practices in the cane farming sector. The event included a review of the contract booklet with the cane farmers and testimonials about how this has impacted their lives on and off the field.
En los tiempos pasados no había contratos, uno cortaba a la manera, pero ahora que ya hay contrato es un beneficio bueno para nosotros.
Está un poco mejor pues porque pues ahora ya está escrito. Hay evidencias, ya el cortador no puede decir pues no me dieron mi día, tienes firmado, pues él también estuvo de acuerdo con están las condiciones del contrato, así que pues le dan su día, nos beneficia a todos porque vamos a decir, hoy no va uno, el que le toca su día, los que se quedan hacen un poco más de dinero porque pues cortan un poco más de caña que cuando está el otro, ¿no?
I think it's better because then we have data on how we can organize our groups. You know, back then we didn't have no kind of information how we can organize the cutter in the industry in specific, you know, because then we would have a lot of floating cutters all about the place, you know, and it's hard to control them. But now we would have an idea how we can work things out with them with this kind of information.
En el tiempo anterior no daban eso y ahora sí te ayuda bastante. En el tiempo de antes que yo estuve recibí como 2 cortadas que fueron que mandaron a un buen mes en el hospital y este año ya no, porque en este año recibí una cortada pero en el uso de los guantes me protegió bastante. No realmente no pasó la cortada, te ayuda bastante.
To improve the booklet, cane farmers suggested that more information on Social Security benefits and labor rights be provided. Furthermore, it was suggested that cane farmers who are unable to read or understand the contract be taken into consideration. This week, there were reports that the price of flour would be going up, or that certain brands were returning to pre-COVID prices. The rumors created a domino effect, with some food vendors raising their prices, while others are adopting a wait-and-see attitude. But when News 5 checked with the Bureau of Standards this morning, they told us they have not authorized any increases in this commodity. This led to reporter Paul Lopez wondering if other factors might be causing those burritos or Fry Jacks to cost a little more right now. As he found out, it's complicated.
What led us to increase the price is because all of our goods are going up. The flour, the onions, the cabbage, foil, everything is going up.
I think everyone knows right now that everything's going up. And you know, every time you go to the market, it's 50 cents more. Right now the tomatoes were high, $5, $4 a pound. Sweet pepper guns up. And basically in the kitchen you use everything from vegetables to containers.
On June 13th, the Statistical Institute of Belize reported that prices of foods like vegetables and fruits saw an increase of 4.8% in the first 5 months of 2021 when compared to the first 5 months of 2020. Concerns are now mounting because on Tuesday, reports began circulating that the prices of an essential commodity, flour, would be going up. However, the Bureau of Standards, responsible for fixing prices, told News 5 that they have not approved any increase in either retail or wholesale prices on locally produced flour. They do not control the price of imported flour. News 5 spoke with 2 vendors today to see what type of flour they use most. What flour do you tend to use most often, like your burrito, your fried jack, your gacho? What flour?
Well, that's like giving you my secret ingredient. But
do you use flour that's imported or flour that's made here?
well, we use some of the imported and we use some of the that's made here. For example, we use imported for the flour tortillas, and for like say baking, we use the from here. The imported is since then it's come in the same price.
Yeah.
But the increasing is the one here.
So you've seen an increase in the local prices?
Not yet, but I heard it will go up.
News 5 visited 3 major retail stores in the city to find out if prices on the shelves match the Bureau's fixed prices. We found that one supermarket sells the Bebe Agua flour for 92 cents a pound. That same store sells the La Itana flour for 90 cents a pound. The second store had the same prices. These match the Bureau's fixed price for Belize City. Our third stop on the Philip Golson Highway revealed that this supermarket is selling the Bebe Agua flour at $1 a pound, 8 cents higher than the Bureau's fixed price, a clear indication of price gouging. Whether legal price hikes or not, some vendors are seeing a change in what they pay for this crucial ingredient.
Sometimes we use bola roja because the flour come out soft and nice. You know, you like your nice flour tortilla. So, and sometimes we use gitana. So, yeah.
Now we know that the bola roja is a bit more expensive than the gitana, or the locally made one. Why choose to use that one that's more expensive?
It's because if we use gitana, sometimes the flour doesn't come out soft and nice and the way our customers like it. So we have to do what the customers like, and yes.
So you see an increase in the price of flour the last time you went to buy? Did you see an increase?
Yes, we saw the increase. That's why we decided to raise the burritos and the flour tacos, because the flour increased.
Joshua from Joshua's Barbecue Joint at the entrance of Brody's compound on the Philip Golson Highway says he has had to adjust his prices, not only because of flour prices, but also because of increasing prices on other food products he uses for his business. La Popular Bakery uses locally produced flour exclusively to make their products. They are looking closely at the flour prices to determine whether any alteration will be made to their prices. But to repeat, as of today, the Belize Bureau of Standards has not approved any increases on the wholesale and retail prices of locally produced flour. If your community food vendors are increasing their prices, they may be taking into consideration the increasing prices on other goods. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The nation's public health sector will be celebrating a milestone on Thursday with the official opening of its first oncology clinic. Located at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, the clinic has been serving patients for several months during the COVID-19 pandemic for patients requiring the service with travel restrictions in place. But as the demand grew, so did the investment. Since consultations began in 2018, medical oncologist at KHMH, Dr. Ramon Yakab, has seen about 300 to 400 patients annually.
The oncology clinic offers a variety of services. One, consultation in regards to patients that have a diagnosis of cancer, staging, workup consultation, treatment in the form of chemo, palliative care, surveillance, and liaison with the different departments at the hospital for treatment needs that the patient might require. That includes both surgeons, internists, and intervention radiologists. What we've been seeing is that even here at the hospital, we did it by phases. I came in 2018, it's been 3 years now, and during that year, what we did was do consultation, keep tracking of our patients. We noticed that there was a demand for cancer care. During the second year, with the assistance of Social Security Board, we were able to remodel an area within the hospital to fit for an outpatient chemo unit. And for this year, SSB has been assisting us also in developing a revolving drug fund to make drugs much more accessible. For me, it does give me a sense of pride that an oncology clinic is being opened within the public health system, because we're making the services available to everyone. I think everyone should benefit from the type of services. the enhanced services that we can offer.
Just ahead, it's never too early to get into the September spirit. But first, here's the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Need a paint which offers superior quality and durability? Then the choice is easy. Designed specifically for your home's exterior, Benjamin Moore Ultra Spec EXT offers ultra smooth performance. It's easy to apply, has low odor, and is mildew resistant. Bring life to your home by choosing the color and sheen to suit your style. Benjamin Moore Paints, available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly, and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
The National Trade Negotiating Commission has held its first regular meeting in Belmopan. Among the issues representatives addressed were exports to Guatemala and Mexico and a potential trade agreement between Belize and Mexico. Other matters were front-of-package warning labels, World Trade Organization negotiations on fisheries subsidies, the trade facilitation roadmap recently approved by Cabinet, and targeted industries for investments to CARICOM. The NTNC approved the creation of a task force on payments to assist Belizean traders sending and receiving payments from Central America and Mexico. The commission is comprised of representatives of government ministries, departments, and agencies, the private sector and civil society, labor groups, non-government organizations, and academia. The first regular meeting was co-chaired by Ambassador Amalia Mai, Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and Private Sector Representative Emil Mena. This morning, the September Celebrations Commission launched the theme for the 2021 celebrations. Present were the winners of the annual competition, during which the best slogan is selected. Led by Minister of Education and Culture Francis Fonseca, the brief ceremony was held at the House of Culture. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
Belize at 40, hopeful hearts, steady hands, together we rise. I think it's a wonderful team.
September Celebrations 2021 will be no different from last year, as Belize continues to battle a surge in COVID-19 cases. This means that many of the events being planned in the weeks ahead will be held virtually.
This year, we celebrate an important milestone. 40 years as an independent nation. There is something special about 40. At 40, we should be mature enough to learn the lessons of our past. We have made mistakes along the way, but hopefully we have learned from those mistakes. At 40, we have a better sense of what works and what doesn't work for Belize.
Since gaining independence in 1981, Belize continues to grow as a country in population size as well as maturity. To commemorate that important event 40 years ago, the anniversary of the beginning of our political freedom will be observed through a series of national activities reflecting this year's theme.
I am truly excited about some of the new creative initiatives we have on this year's calendar. 40 trees planted in each of our municipalities. 40 $1,000 art and culture grants for innovative projects. 40 musical items, 4 concerts over 4 nights, 10 musical items per night in 4 different districts. The Belize at 40 prizes for cultural and creative excellence. One example is the Andy Palacio Prize for original Belizean music.
Yes,
Speaking of original Belizean compositions, this morning a new September celebration song was introduced along with this year's theme.
When Carlo and I started working on this song after I spoke with Minister Fonseca, we're thinking about who do we want to use, what is it that we're going to do here. And he thought that T.R. Shine would be a great person, but then he said to me, but we want to do something a little bit different than we usually do in Belize. Let us go with kind of a rock ballad. And I was thinking to myself, well, T.R. Shine, I don't know. And then he said, trust me, Stu, trust me. And I said, okay, Carlo, let's go with T.R. Shine as the lead singer. And then he put together a collective of some incredible voices.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.